Thank you. I really must thank TEDxColombo and the Kaligrama Institute, as well as the British Council, for having me here today. The tsunami. It's so weird how one word can contain so many different emotions in it. And the 2004 disaster that ravaged our land changed so many lives, including mine. It was in the wake of the disaster that we started going to various rescue sites, and we saw that there was actually a change that we saw in some areas, that there were massive impacts in some areas, massive damages, while some areas were not so badly damaged. And it got me thinking, what was so different about one area, and what was so not different about the other area? And after a bit of research, we found out it was mangroves. Where there was a bigger vegetation of mangroves, the impact of the tsunami had been very much less than an area that had cut down all the mangroves, all the vegetation. Did you know that just 100 meters of mangrove forest can reduce the tsunami wave's power by up to 60%, 66% actually? And imagine the implications that would have had if people had known that before the tsunami came. So without wasting any more time, we got down to work. And we started replanting quite a bit of mangroves. And we came across the Bolgoda Lake of Sri Lanka. And what we saw there was very, very sad. There was so much devastation going on, mangroves being cut down, and there was also sawdust being put into the lake, and there was also quite a bit of pollution. And this was affecting not only the lake system, but also, more importantly, the communities who lived around it. And it was very sad that the community had not realized that this was affecting not only their livelihoods, but also the very essence of their well-being. So what we started to do was, you can see how some people are having the very bad implications of it. And it was very sad because there are more than 47 species of recorded birds in the mangrove ecosystem in the Bolgoda Lake, and also various other amphibians, and you can see a dragonfly there. And I'm very proud of this crocodile picture. I took it myself. And he was sunning on a rock, and it was pretty cool, so I'm pretty proud of that. And when we started a replantation program, most of the people didn't want to really be part of it. I mean, they were like, what are we getting out of it? So that's when we started to come up with an idea for a social enterprise. And we got inspiration from two of the most amazing social enterprises in the world. One being Bunker Roy's Barefoot College, and the other being Dr. Muhammad Yunus's social enterprise to provide probiotic yogurts to malnourished young kids. And from Mr. Bunker Roy's Barefoot College, we learned about ownership, to provide people and all the communities with some sense of feeling that they had some kind of stakeholdership and ownership in the whole replantation program, and that they were actually going to own some of it. And with Dr. Yunus's model, we learned how to actually provide something back to the community without just taking something from them. So from there, we came up with a model, and it was to grow, sell, and save. So we would grow the mangroves with the help of the communities, and we would use it to create different designer crafts. And I say designer crafts here because, you would have obviously walked around Sri Lanka and you would have seen so many crafts that look exactly the same. You can go from stall to stall to stall, but it looks exactly the same. So we wanted something different. And that's where the designer crafts came in. We wanted to cater to the consumer needs so that there wouldn't be a wastage of all the products that were made. And we were going to sell these at a premium price so that this would eliminate any middleman and a paltry sum that a middleman would pay them. And also, we would save. We would put 5% of the social enterprise into a social fund. And this would help the social fund actually grow while helping the rest of the community to maybe fund new ideas, to be bigger, or use it to make a new enterprise, or even maybe help the young people to gain better IT skills and various other skills for better employability. And these were some of the crowds that were made, and we were able to actually raise, this is where I give you the statistics, we were able to give actually the community people, not only in Sri Lanka, but India and Bangladesh as well, there was a 45% increase in their daily income. And this is actually a big deal for them because most of these people live on a daily wage. So if they took time off from, say, fishing, where they go out in the morning and come late in the night to just replant a mangrove without getting some sort of incentive, they would probably starve. Their kids would not go to school, and they would not be able to do anything that they could do as a family together. So, as well as replanting more than 12,000 mangroves with the help of communities, I think we were able to give some sort of ownership and to also help the communities to realize their true potential as human beings, to live in dignity without getting any funding, because they are able to realize their dreams and also their aspirations without having to rely on anyone else. And I think that's one of the biggest things for people in this sort of community. And they say success is a seed lovingly planted. And everyone in this community have worked so hard and persevered through so many obstacles to actually reach a level of sustainable living. And I'm pretty proud of that. And I'm also happy to say that we are actually extended to Cambodia, that our initiative is going to be starting in Cambodia this month. So that's our initiative, so thank you for having me here today.